Okay, well, welcome everyone to our very first growth group Zoom. We're hoping we do this once a week, and then I think Liz talked about doing a couple in the evening as well for people who work, because we know that there's a mix. But we're recording it, so we'll send it out to everyone. But we are excited because we are starting our growth group, which means all of you that are on or watching this have committed to trying to earn at least $1,000 by Christmas. So, yay, that's exciting. So we have some really good action steps, some things for you guys to do. There's a Zoom that we can send if you have not seen the Zoom yet. I don't know, Vicki, maybe you can pull that video off that Liz posted. Could you pull it off and post it in the chat thread? Do you remember that one? No? I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, it's the one that they did. She posted it in the $1,000. But if you don't have it, you can scroll up in that group or talk to your coach and we can send it to you. But that's a really good starting point to watch that. It's about massive action. It's really, really good. So
Is it Troy Drollinger? Is that the one you're talking about? Troy Drollinger?
I think so. I think that's what his name is. Yeah. So if we can get that in there, and that's a good starting point. It's just a training that he did a few weeks ago that Liz shared with everyone. But we're going to just go through a couple things today. We shouldn't be more than 30 minutes. And I'm going to just turn it over to Karen. She's got our first part all planned. So I'm going to mute myself and hand it over to you.
Awesome. Well, if you have never met me, my name is Karen Condos, and I have been a coach for almost 2 years. And so today we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that happen as coaches, and dream a little bit. So just a little start here. I'm gonna share my coaching story with you. So my coach is Vicki Sutherland, and she's awesome. And she kept telling me, "You'd make such a great coach." And I thought, nope, I'm good. I don't need to do that. And so I was losing weight on program, and I had lost about 30 pounds. And then I told her, I came to her and I was like, I think I could probably share this with other people. And so I started program in August, and by November I started coaching. So at the time when I started coaching, the first thing they asked me was, what's kind of like your financial goal? And I was like, it'd be really nice to pay for my food so that I don't have to do that. You don't have to take it out of my family's budget. And so I started off with that. And that was a great goal. And I reached that goal very quickly. In fact, my first month, I was a senior coach and was able to pay for my food. And I worked up from there. I actually went to a couple of trainings, and one was in Utah. And the next goal I had was to be able to quit my job as a substitute teacher, because I didn't really love that so much. And so a little less than a year later, September of last year, I quit my job to full-time coach. So that was exciting too. And then my next goal was to take my family on a vacation across the country. I flew them to Florida. My kids, specifically my daughter was dying to be on an airplane. I'm not sure why, but that was her goal. I want to be on an airplane. So I told her if she supported me as a health coach, that we would make that happen. And this past summer, that's exactly what we did. So we're setting out to have some new adventures, and that's what we'd like to do for all of you is start to help you dream. And what are some goals that you might have and things that you might be interested in doing, or what exciting places could you take your family? So Cammie's going to share just a little bit of her coaching story, and then we'll go from there.
So a lot of you know, because all of you are actually that are on live are my coaches. So that's awesome. But I know there's a lot that will listen to the playback. And I'm trying to mute some people just so we don't get background noise. So if you are not muted, go ahead and just mute yourself if you can. Just that way we don't get background noise. And then if you want to come off mute, feel free. We just want to make sure that we don't have everyone. But my coaching story is different than Karen's because I did not hit senior coach my first month. I was a little bit slow starter. I became a coach. I helped one person, one client in my very first month. And I was working on my own health journey. And funny that today is the day, because today is 7 years ago to the day that I bought my coach's kit. So today's my health anniversary. It's kind of fun. But I was super slow. I don't think I had any clients in October. And I had one or maybe two in November. And then December, I think I hit senior coach. I think it took me 3 months. I did not earn my cab, so I was a little bit slower. And then I was senior coach and manager until March, and I went to an event and realized that I was missing out on a lot of really awesome stuff, and the possibilities were endless with this. So I went all in, and I went from manager to executive director. And at the time, there was no such thing as points. It was frontline volume alone. So I went from about like a barely manager, like $2,400 of frontline volume, and I made the leap. And I remember I got 6,300 and something in April, and I hit executive director. And that month was life-changing because as an executive director, your income is about $2,000 a month. Probably because I was on the lower end, it was probably like 1,800, but I paid my mortgage that month. And that was just amazing to our family. My husband was working in the construction industry, and his income was very hit and miss, depending on when jobs ended and started. So to pay our mortgage was huge. And I always say that I have never, like until now, I'm in a very much of a growth mindset with my business. But I worked to maintain executive director for a really long time, like 5 years. I've maintained it. And there's a few months where, things went up and down, but for the most part, I've paid my mortgage every single month, and that has made a huge difference. I was talking to my kids the other day. They asked me why I am on so many phone calls. They don't understand it completely. And I explained to my son that, okay, you play really competitive baseball all the time. We're always traveling and doing that, and my income pays for that. So without Optavia, you wouldn't be playing competitive baseball. You wouldn't be able to be on this travel team where we go 2 or 3 times out of town. And I remember the first time, the first Christmas, we were talking about this because it's coming up to Christmas, the first Christmas where I didn't have to worry about money. I could just pay cash for everything. It was the most enjoyable Christmas I've ever had because I wasn't stressed. So that's kind of my financial story. So I'm going to give it back to Karen for some stuff she's going to do.
Awesome. So Cami, how are we on time? Should we just move forward with questions at this?
Yeah, we can do it just a couple more minutes. I'll be faster on the next part.
Okay. Vicki, we would love to hear your story. Could you share your coaching story with us? We're going to put you on the spot, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Let's see. I had done the program. My coach is in Saudi Arabia, so she's far away. And after I had lost the weight, I was still just very shy about being able to be a coach. I didn't believe it for a minute that I could be. And they just encouraged me to just start talking about, about drinking water with a friend, or just talk about health with a friend. And it encouraged me. I found out that this is something that I had a passion for, that I was excited about. And I really, really did not want to regain the 60 pounds I lost. That was huge in my brain. And 5 years down the road now, 5 years, I am so grateful. I think it was a pivotal choice to be able to be a coach. And I've been able to take my husband on incentive trips. He's come with me, and we get to go play for something that for these kind of things, that's kind of huge. I've always gone to his conventions, always gone, with his traveling trips, but he got to come to mine. So that was fun. And the other thing is I get to travel a lot between here, Hawaii, or wherever. And to be able to be a coach, to be able to take that, this with me, with my phone and the laptop and in a folder, that's the office. And I can move and go anywhere. And I've done health evaluations walking through the forest in Canada. We've on the beach. I've been able to, to still be a coach on the beach, and it's just kind of huge. I love being a coach for so many reasons, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicki. So we would like to open it up at this point and see if we can see what some of your dreams are and some of your goals. Is there anyone that would just like to share something that they're dreaming of, or that they have a goal to do in the near future with your family or yourself, or something that you would like to buy or be able to do?
And I think when you think of dreaming, think of this first $1,000, because it is the $1,000 growth group.
I forgot that part.
No, that's okay. What would that $1,000 do for you or your family? And it's okay to be selfish. Maybe it is to pay for your program. Maybe it is for Christmas. Maybe it's a trip you want to do with your family. Ashley has something. Go ahead. Just take yourself off mute and jump in.
So I started health coaching. I told Cammie this. My family has a Disney cruise booked for March. And if you've ever looked at Disney cruises, they are not the cheap ones. So that is kind of my goal, is to help pay for that, so that it's not a huge stressor, a huge burden of, oh crap, we're really doing this and this is a lot of money. But it's going to be more fun that way. So that's why I am doing this.
Awesome. That's a huge goal.
That's great. Anyone else have one that they would like to share?
You can type it in the comments in the chat thread if you want as well. That's fine. Just a shout out. I'm going to shout out to Pauline because she's on mute. You can take yourself off mute, Pauline. She hit senior coach last night. She's been a coach for less than a month. So she's officially a senior coach as of the 14th of the month, which is awesome. So,
So nice.
Pauline, what goals do you have?
As of right now, my goal is to figure out this coaching, because being so new with this program that I love, I just want to know and be more informed on how to help. I can't think of anything I would do as of right now for the $1,000, just because I just want to know. I just want to be able to be a good coach for people and to help them reach where I've gone, if that makes sense. And so that $1,000 wouldn't mean anything to me as of right now until I figure it out. We don't have any big plans. Well, we do have a plan to go to Hong Kong, but that might change because of what's happening over there. Yeah, my goal is just to know how to be a good coach.
Something that you said in there, Pauline, that I loved is that you just want to help, and the opportunity to help people is really a great why for coaching. So it doesn't all have to be financial. And we are specifically saying $1,000 in this particular group, but you know what? The more money you make, actually, the more people you're helping. So that's something to remember as well. And certainly, it's never a bad idea to sock that money away into a savings account, right? So even if that's your goal, is to have a little nest egg for the future, that's that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. If anyone else has something, just feel free. You can either jump in or drop it in the chat thread. We do need to get moving so we can get to the other parts. Make sure we cover everything just for the time limit. But if you don't have something, a big why of why you want to coach or what the difference it will make, it's going to stay hard. It's going to be hard to stay motivated is what I have found. So whether that why is to help as many people as you can, like Pauline, whether that why is to pay for a Disney cruise or to pay for your mortgage or, you know, to pay a car payment. Think of what $1,000, what that could, the difference it could make. Think of the difference $500 could make. $500 is a very nice car payment. $500 could be groceries for an entire family for a month. It could be to pay for your food. There's, I know, you know, a couple people who are wanting to become coaches or, you know, have done the program, and that is the difference, is they want to pay for their food. So figure out, that's part of your homework. So you guys are going to hopefully have a notebook. You're going to have some homework for this growth group. But the first thing is to decide why you want this. So decide your why and really dream big. If you can't think of anything, then talk to your mentor, talk to whoever invited you, and let's dream together, because there is so much that's possible with Optavia. Which, by the way, Pauline, remind me to talk to you, because Hong Kong is a great in. We actually have new clients and coaches in Singapore and Hong Kong. So that's something, a conversation we should have. But the next few minutes, we wanted to just give you some real concrete action steps, what this is going to look like. So if you want to make $1,000 by Christmas, it's going to look, you know, in very simplistic terms, look like about 15 clients, okay? And for some of you, that might sound like so many. Some of you on this call, I know I have 2 people on this call that aren't even signed up as coaches yet. They are signing up hopefully in the next day or so. So that's an overwhelming goal. But I want you to get out your piece of notebook paper, okay? Just a blank piece of paper, and you're going to write, and I'm going to do it with you, 5 lines with a number. 1, 2, just do 5, 3, 4, 5, and I'll show you mine. Okay, so just 5 lines on paper. Okay, and I want you to put this somewhere where you're going to see it. Yep, Vicki has hers. This is something I do after 7 years of coaching. I do this every single month. I do lines on paper. And what this is going to do is it's going to activate your reticular activating system. It's going to start helping you be aware of the fact that you have a goal to meet 5 or to help 5 people this month. We want to try and help, and I know October's halfway over. Today's almost the halfway point, but help 5 people in October, 5 in November, and hopefully 5 or more in December. And if you do that, then you're going to be about the rank of, is it associate director, Vicki? It would be, and Karen, it would be senior coach, manager, associate director, right? My mind's, yeah. So you would make about $1,000 by Christmas if you do that. Now,
Yeah, I think, okay, so associates, not director
Okay.
yet, because it would be 24 or 12 would be,
12 senior coach, 24 is manager.
and then associate is
Associate,
is 36.
Yeah, so that would bring your frontline volume to about 3,600, which means that you would be helping about 15 people and be an associate director or close to it. Now, the cool part, and this is where all the training and stuff will come in, is every 5 people you help, you're going to get a pay increase. You're going to get a higher percentage. So you can go through all those details with your coach. So that should be our first goal, is to get 5 lines on paper and fill those lines. Now, you might ask, how do I do that? Okay, if you haven't watched the webinar yet, that Vicki, or the video that we sent, that's your homework. That's going to help you. But we want you to make a list of everyone you know. Okay, a hundreds list. A hundreds list is anyone and everyone you know, whether you don't want to prejudge and say they will use the program. You want to make a list of everyone you know. Okay, and then we will go through and teach you how to identify people to contact from that list, or what to do. We're not going to do cold calls and make people feel uncomfortable like we're selling. We're going to get the word out about what we're doing. And anyone on this call, and I'm looking around, there's not very many that don't have 5 clients, okay? Or there's a couple that, sorry, there's not very many that do have 5 clients. If you do not have 5 clients right now, no matter how long you've been a coach, we are encouraging you to do practice calls with your mentor, okay? And that is just to help sharpen up your skills, but it's also a really good way to get people on the phone. If you have people on your list that are on your heart, and you reach out to them and say, do you know what? I'm really trying to brushing up on my skills, and I want to do, or I need to do 5 practice health assessments. Would you help me with that? Then there's so many people, so many close friends that will get on the phone with you. And it might not be for them, the program might not be for them, but hopefully they know someone that you don't that will use the program as a referral. Okay, so first thing is 5 lines on paper. The other thing is we use what's all the time, or I use all the time, what's called action steps, or SMART action steps, okay? So on that same paper you can do, and Karen's gonna drop an example of this in our coaches group, but it's coming up with, okay, I need 5 clients. So in order to get 5 clients, how many health assessments should I do in the month of October? And you're gonna set yourself a goal. Maybe that means that your goal is to do 10 health assessments. Okay, and everyone's going to be different. If you're a brand new coach, it might look more like 15 health assessments. I can tell you from true, real experience in the past 3 weeks, after coaching for 7 years, I have been told no so many times in the past 2 weeks. It happens. I guarantee if I talk to all the experienced coaches on this call, they have been told no in the past couple of weeks. And that's okay. That's part of it, because do you know what? Our job, there's like an analogy about a waitress, okay? She comes around at a little diner with a container full of coffee, okay? And she offers to fill people's coffee up, right? Have you ever been offered to fill, like have someone fill your coffee up? You have coffee mugs sitting upside down at a diner on the table. Does the waitress get offended or sad or hurt or mad if you just kindly say, no, thank you, I don't want coffee? No, she just goes where? To the next person. And that's our job, is to share with people as much as we can. Even if we're told no, it's okay. So the SMART action steps are tangible things that you can do every single day. It can be health assessments, the number of health assessments. So I think 10 in a month is a great goal to start out with, and use your coaches, your mentors with you. How many Facebook posts are you going to do? Okay. If you aren't posting it all on Facebook, I don't think it would be a great idea to do a 3, 3, and 3. That would be crazy to go from no posting to 3 times a day. But how many Facebook posts are you going to do? And within that, you could say, how many before and afters am I going to share? How many transformation stories? How many healthy recipes? You can get really specific about these SMART action goals. Okay. Facebook Live is a really good way to post on Facebook and draw attention to yourself on Facebook in a really positive way. So that might be scary for some of you. You don't have to do all of these things. Let's see, if you have clients, if you've been coaching for a while, how many old clients or previous clients are you going to call up? Okay, if you don't have old clients, then obviously don't put that goal down. That's okay. But I had, in the month of September, I made a goal to call up 10 old clients. Again, I've been coaching for a long time, and 3 of those 10 reordered or started back on program because they just wanted to brush up before the holidays hit. Okay, so that's a really good thing. How much time are you going to spend on personal development? That's another thing you could put on the SMART goals. So personal development is one of the keys to our business, whether it's listening to podcasts or the Habits of Health webinars or trainings or books. Having that time set apart each day is super important. So that's your homework, is to come up with your everyone you know list. Okay, and that will take you some time. If you need like a memory jogger, there's lots of them online you can look up, but think of everyone you know. Okay, teachers, high school friends, colleagues, your plumber, your electrician, your tile guy, like Anyone and everyone, people that you go to church with, your neighbors. I have people on my street that still ask me what I do. They don't know what I do. And that's okay. And do you know what? Amber lives a block away. And I bet Amber is in the same boat. There's people in our neighborhood that don't know what we do. So that is, we have 10 minutes left. That's okay. So your goal or your action steps are your 5 lines on paper, your SMART goals, come up with some SMART goals for the month, things that you can do, and your everyone you know list. Does that make sense? Okay. We wanted to leave the last couple minutes, so it's perfect. We have 10 minutes for questions and answers. So if any of you that are brand new or just starting have questions, please, you just take yourself off mute, type it in the chat thread. I'll check the chat thread. I haven't checked it. And let us help you and kind of get you off and started and running, because this is totally possible for anyone to do. You might get told no, you will get told no, but it's totally possible. Okay. Anyone have questions or comments or anything they want to add?
Hey, Cami, I have a question.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend? Like, some people I did health assessments with years ago, but like nothing ever happened. How's a good way to contact them again, or kind of go back to that when it's been a while, but
yeah,
they might still remember?
So I've done that recently as well. I think a great way is if you have their phone number, just to call them up and just say, do you know what? I was going through some of my old notes as a health coach, and I realized that, or I just was checking in with you to see if you still had health goals that you were working on. How's that going? Or just message them on Facebook, kind of establish that relationship again. Because we all have been taught in our trainings that no is just another word for not yet. They're not ready yet. So that's a great place to start, is anyone that has ever asked about Optavia or you've talked to about it, to follow up with them, see how they're doing with their health goals. Maybe they've found something else that they've liked and worked, but then, that's a good question. Who else has questions? Brand new coaches, I'm sure, have some questions. It's okay, don't be shy.
I also just want to let you know, in our message thread, I put in there the SMART action goals, and it's a Word document, so you can edit it, change those goals as you choose, but it's written in it. I put the link in there. So somebody click on it for me and make sure you can actually see it. Would be awesome.
Right now. And the cool thing is that you can customize based on where your business is. My action goals are going to be totally different than someone like Pauline or Ashley or Erin or Krista that are brand new coaches. Okay. So like Karen, I'm just seeing if it'll work. Hold on. Mine opened up something else, but that's not your fault. Karen put this together, and you can go in and download the doc and then edit it to what you want. It's coming. Anyone else have anything? Oh yeah, perfect. It came up, Karen. I have it, so you're good. Yeah, she has everything in there. It's great. There's events, there's, if you have questions about what any of these are, just talk to your coach or the person that invited you, and we can help walk you through that. Anyone have their, let's see. Okay, finding time. That's a great question, okay? The beauty of Optavia is you can literally fit this business into the cracks of your life. Don't feel like you have to spend hours and hours and hours each day. I would figure out how much time you have in a day. There's a really great training, and maybe Cheryl can jump on, and I know she's on, but I don't know if she can take herself off mute, about time blocking and like a time inventory. So figure out how much time you have, and then let's come up with a plan. So if you have an hour a day, let's come up with a plan of things that are income producing activities during that hour that you can do. So, you know, the worst thing they always talk about prime time is during the day when people can get on the phone. Don't be scrolling Facebook and doing that on prime time. Let's figure out income producing activities that we can do with you, things like scheduling health assessments or celebration calls, just in the cracks while you're driving, while your kids are napping, you know, wherever you can fit it. But I would start out and figure out, take some time, Pauline, especially where you just asked that, is figure out how much time you have to spend. And then let's talk, Amber and myself and you, and come up with what to do in that time frame. Anything else we should add to that, Vicki? Oh, you're on mute, sorry. I can't unmute, there you go.
Well, no, there it is. Okay. No, I think finding out where you are, just like some of these same principles apply. Like when we're starting out, we need to find out where we are and then where we want to be. And so just making sure you have an idea of what you're doing right now, and then how to make a plan. And then to make that plan is perfect. That creates the tension that we need to be able to get where we want to go. And so I think you're right on, Cami. You're right on.
I know a common question I've had lately is, how do I get people on the phone? What do I say? A really, really simple thing to do if you're brand new, which a lot of you are, I would consider brand new, is to say, do you know what? I have decided to become a health coach, and I'm so excited to help as many people as I can. But part of my training is to listen to, you know, however many, 5 practice calls with my mentor coach. Would you be willing to get on the phone and help me with those practice calls? And if you talk to friends, family, coworkers, anyone that is close to you, most of the time they'll be like, oh, of course I'll help you. And I promise you on these calls, it is not a threatening, pushy type of environment. It is a true health assessment, meaning we go through, we ask some questions, we see if it's a good fit, and if it's not, then we say, oh, that's okay. Do you know anyone that this might benefit? Can you think of anyone that this could help? So that's a great way. I would use that excuse for all of you, is to get them on the phone, to use your mentor coach. So whether it's Vicki or Liz or Amber or myself or Karen, whoever it is, get them on the phone and do those training calls, so you can make sure that you, one, either we're listening to you and giving you feedback, or you're listening to us and it's getting people on the phone and they're hearing about the program, which is our goal, is just to teach them about the program. Okay. Any other questions you guys can think of? Do you guys have anything that you've thought of for your $1,000, your why? It's come to your mind, popped into your head? Amber, maybe I'll pick on you. What would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? Oh, you're muted. Hold on.
Is it me, Amber?
Yeah, you.
I don't know who else is on, so
nope,
like I don't know
Amber.
if it's me. $1,000 a month would make Christmas a lot easier. We're actually trying to plan a little family vacation over the Christmas holiday, so it'd be nice just to be able to have extra money that time of year to pay for it.
Perfect. Family vacation. I promised my kids a cruise, and man, the pressure is on because they will not let me forget it. So it's not booked yet. I don't know when we're doing it, but that's my why. I gotta pay for a cruise. What else? Have you guys thought of anything? We have 1 minute left and then the time will end.
I can share.
Yeah, feel free.
So we just found out that my little boy is going to need a surgery. Try not to get emotional. So anyway, it'll be a couple grand for that, and then follow up. Plus, it's kind of that time of night, you know, Christmas. So I don't want that to infringe upon our Christmas either. So having, you know, money to help him, and then also still having, you know, a great Christmas.
Love that. Okay, well, our time is running short. We are here for any of you. I'm going to post this in the chat thread and in the groups so our coaches have it. If you have coaches that aren't on, just feel free to send it to them. But we're going to meet, I believe, next Monday as well at 9:30 a.m. So report back. We want your homework done, your list made, and then we're going to go from there. Okay? Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Cami.
Yep. Have a good week.